Cobra Kai Nation, a nation of snakes.
Cobra Kai fans, the Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 trailer really showed us a really awesome glimpse into the Sekai Taikai. Some beats at Bloodsport and other inspirations for the tournament are clearly present in this trailer. And we're going to talk about a specific moment, a specific fight that fans are going to be very anticipated for, with Robby and Axel fighting in the Sekai Taikai. So in the trailer footage, we see moments of Robby facing Axel, and they've clearly covered which stage this is. And this might not even be part of the earlier stage. This might actually be one of the later fights in the tournament, which is the 1v1 individual contest fights, which is proving that it's going to be very tough for the Miyagi-Dos as Robby faces the big Ivan Drago figure in Axel Kovacevic. Now, this fight is very worrying because I don't think Robby is going to have an issue fighting Quan. I do think he's going to overcome him in the fights. However, when he faces Axel, I'm worried about this because this is essentially Ivan Drago to the kids, and he's also a very ferocious foe. I do believe that Axel is the current reigning champion in the Sekai Taikai. Perhaps this is revealed in part 2, or they might even save that for part 3. But I do hope we get some understanding of that, as the Iron Dragons Dojo are being set as a big protagonist for Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 and 3. And you wouldn't have such a very big announcement with the new cast they have, which are very important to this dojo, with Louis Tan playing Sensei Wolf, who has got a lot of mystery to him and a very interesting background that I hope we see explored in part 2, and of course Rena Vallandigham, who's playing Zara Malik, the ferocious, cocky, badass, very big character, and probably the reigning champion in the Sekai Taikai. And we know that she is going to make Tori and Sam's life hell in this tournament. And I think it's interesting, to say the least, what this fight with Robby and Axel is going to turn out to be like. What is going to happen? I mean, seeing Robby get punched in the face like a scene out of Rocky IV or Bloodsport is very worrying. Now, I do think he's beaten Quan at this point, but also with Miguel not having a rivalry with Quan, as they've shown this in the trailer, it seems to be more of a focus for Robby. And I think Axel will probably be more for Miguel. So perhaps this is where Miguel will have to step in. I'm very worried for Robby in this fight because Axel does not look like an easy opponent, and also if he is the reigning champion, there's a reason for that. We also don't know how he would be in this fight. Does he fight very dirty? Is he just so hard to beat because he's so much bigger, physically stronger, more skilled? Is he just going to dominate Robby in every aspect of the fight? Well, he's 4 points up at this point of the fight, but that doesn't mean that Robby has lost. This is just 4 points he's landed on Robby. I think they're taking a very different approach to the Sekai Taikai. I want to see them have a sense of timed fights rather than getting to 3 points and that end of the fight. I think they need to keep it with minute, because if they keep this concept, that means we get longer fights, and also it means the points are going to be more valuable with each fight. Although if you knock out your opponent, does that mean you automatically win? I would assume so. But also, what if you get more points out of the fight, but you still get knocked out? You might still advance. There's going to be interesting elements to the Sekai Taikai. I don't think it's going to be anything like the All Valley with the points. But worrying for Robby, because if he's getting on the end of hits like this from Axel, anyone that faces him is going to have an issue. Clearly, Axel is the biggest threat right now to the kids. I think Quan has got weaknesses to him, although we know how badass he is, and Brandon Lee playing him has shown such great debut in the character, well, as we've seen in part 1. But I do not think Quan is going to be in the final, because I believe Axel is the main villain for the kids. And the Iron Dragons are still a big mystery, but I do think there's something more to come with that. So what do you guys think of the fight with Robby and Axel? How do you think it's going to go? And are you concerned about Robby? Because I really hope he wins this fight and overcomes this opponent. But there's always a twist in the manual with Cobra Kai, and I think we have to expect the unexpected. But hopefully Robby does go all the way to the final. So let me know in the comments. Hit the like button and subscribe now with notifications on, and I will see you in the next video.
Cobra Kai Nation, a nation of snakes, coming together to snake each other. You're gonna snake, snake, snake with the Cobra Kai Nation. Nations join, nations divide, but snakes are forever. Cobra Kai Nation.